This is part 3 of the 1000 Hours of Bugs and Text videos. If you haven't seen the previous 2, then maybe you could check them out after this one. And I am saving the best bug for last in this video, so I hope you don't mind. In this video I show 3 different ways to escape danger. The first 2 are for if you're being depths ganked or doing hell mode, stuff like that, where you're about to die and you want to escape to survive. For the first one, all you need to do is go to the Diluvian mechanism and just press enter alone, which will teleport you out of the server. The second way to escape danger is pretty similar to the first, with the benefit being that it can be done on any build. However, the third method, which I will show later in the video, can be done anywhere, however it requires a more specific build. So for the second method in question, you do need to have a Yunshul Wish and a bell. But if you're going to get wiped either by a depths ganker or a hell mode, then it's obviously worth that wish to avoid wiping. You just select the dialogue option at Yunshul to leave the depths, and this can be done in combat even if you're knocked to basically escape any fight. Now I'm going to cover the method I used in my last video, which gave me essentially infinite health. If you haven't watched that video already, then know that I was playing on a really rough 200 ping the entire time. That could have been lessened by using Gear Up. But I'm going to be 100% transparent and briefly explain how it actually works and if you'd actually benefit from using it or not. So the way Gear Up lowers your ping is by allowing you to access their private networks, which should be less congested and more direct than normal public networks. This should give you a more consistent ping without spikes and potentially a reduction in your ping time. However, not everyone is going to see the same or even any reduction in their ping, and the reason why depends on where you live and the network infrastructure nearby. I live in London and I'm pretty close to super fast backbone links, meaning that I don't see a noticeable difference in my ping when using it on my normal network, but it could still stabilize my connection. But most people aren't so close to the backbone links, and in these clips you're seeing now, I'm on a much slower network, and as you can see, Gear Up is reducing both my overall ping and the frequency of ping spikes. Anyone on a similar network is also likely to see an improvement, as Gear Up's private networks can be less congested and take a faster route, letting you react faster and play better. It's also been used by people like Humbled, Super and Nogo. Honestly, the only way to tell if Gear Up will work for you is by trying it, and even if it doesn't work for you, it still might work for someone else. So if you're curious, you can check out Gear Up Booster from my link in the description. And now back to the method I used for infinite health. So if it wasn't already obvious from my last video, the way I achieved infinite health is by having 2 AFK ults inside of walls, which would then Warrior's Respite, and I would just use Sacrifice with Vow of Mastery whenever I needed to heal. The only real bug here is actually getting into the walls, and there's so many different ways, but what I did was I had one account with Illusionary Realm and the other account with Spark Swap. Because Illusionary Realm removes all the walls on your screen, all you need to do is Spark Swap someone inside an Illusionary Realm with only the user of it being the one inside. Here I had the other account go into a guild base so they didn't get pulled into my realm, and then just Spark Swap them, meaning that once the realm ends, only the person who used Illusionary Realm will be teleported back outside the wall, because the other person was never in the realm, they just swapped places with the person who was. I also find that placing a campfire down as a marker is super helpful, and if you want to copy the same locations as me, place a campfire in this spot and use that to know where to stand when you're about to get spark swapped. I'd also like to add that there's now a 2-minute cooldown to sacrifice, because I spoke to Arch about this, but a full heal every 2 minutes should still be plenty of health. The second bug I mentioned in that same video is actually the third way to escape danger from this video, and I guess you could also use it to heal to full whenever needed as well. As I said at the start of this video, this bug does require a specific build. You need to have Illusionary Realm, yet again. So to understand the bug, I'm going to go over the way Illusionary Realm currently works. Anyone outside the realm can't hit someone inside, and it only pulls in people who are on the same level as you. If people are above or below you, they won't get pulled in when you use the realm. One last thing I'd like to add is, if you use Illusionary Realm whilst falling, you will go under the platform that the realm places, so if anyone else is in the realm, they'll go on top of it while you'll still be underneath. By using all of these together, you're able to do 2 things. The first is escaping danger, and to do that, you need to avoid getting combat tagged for at least 10 seconds. So just run around until your combat tag is below 50 seconds, and then just use Realm whilst falling, and anyone trying to attack you won't be able to hit you because you're in Realm and they're not. Once you've done that, you have two options. You can either sit at a campfire and heal, because one of the only ways you can heal in Realm is at a campfire, or you can wait out the combat tag and then log as fast as you can once the Realm ends. I don't know why I was so slow to log here, but you get the idea. And I promise you, this is honestly really strong. I've used it quite often to heal when I need to, or just escape a fight like I did in my last video. Moving on from that, here are two more simple bugs. If you've ever been in the situation where you're in the middle of the sea with no boat and no beach nearby, then you should do this. Normally, you can't summon a boat without something to stand on, but if you place down a guild base, climb on top of the nameplate and face forwards, then hold S to walk backwards into the wall, you'll be able to summon a boat and save yourself a long distance swim. It won't work if you don't hold S and align yourself properly like I am here, but it's a pretty handy thing to know. The next bug is something which I know is widely known and has been in the game since day one, but I haven't included it in one of my videos yet, so now I am. You can wear two of the same rings at once, although only the stats they give will be applied. So you can have two 9 health moon rings, but you can't have 40% extra damage from having two Ishin's rings. So first you want to max out your ring slots without equipping either of the rings you want to wear. I have both Dawn Fists in my inventory. And now, when I go to equip one, I get the replacement GUI. But don't replace anything yet. Instead, go to a campfire and select a ring to unequip. Now, when I go to equip the other Dawn Fist, the GUI doesn't show up, so I can wear one just by clicking and then wear the other Dawn Fist by replacing a different ring slot. This has been in the game for such a long time that, in my opinion, it should just be a feature at this point, so don't patch this please. Moving on, if you've ever wanted to feel like an exploiter from Temu, this is perfect for you. You can fly around the map using the Minotaur Hive Mech. I will admit, it's not very abusable, but that means that it's probably never going to get removed, and it's extremely fun to mess around with. All you need is a mantra that destroys the environment, like Strong Left or Eclipse Kick, and having shadow travel does make it easier, but it's not required. Go up to the Hive Mech that's stuck in ice, and use a destructive mantra on it like I do. It should pop out with one arm intact and the other partially destroyed. But if it doesn't look right, you can always server hop and try again. Now use the mantra on the destroyed arm again, so you have it looking like this. Now, if you do have shadow travel, all you need to do is just click underneath the middle of the mech and you'll get teleported inside. But if you don't, you can get inside it with a lucky roll, but it is much harder. Now that you're inside, here's some flight training information. First off, it is very difficult to get the hang of, but it is controllable. You can accelerate and decelerate with W and S. Spinning will make you fly upwards, press Control to go downwards. If you move too fast, you'll get lagged back and you might fall out, so you want to control your speed and not fly a million miles an hour. But to be clear, it's not the safest or the most reliable method of transportation, so do keep that in mind. Now, for the best bug of the video, just because of how much potential it has. Animation swapping. You can swap the animations of any weapon in the game onto another weapon, as long as the second weapon can change stances by pressing Y. You also keep the damage of whatever weapon you're visually holding, as well as other stats like posture, chip damage, and the crit. Here I'm using a true Seraph Spear with sword anims, but I still have the OP chip and spear critical. As for enchants, they also swap without problems, unless it's a legendary weapon that can't be enchanted. To do this, you need any ritual cast mantra. By far the easiest is any kind of wisp, but you can do it with disguise, so even no attunement builds can have fun with this bug. It's very simple to do. The weapon you're currently using will be the one that you're holding visually, and the one you're using the stats of, like the damage, etc. This is the one you need to be able to change stances with, and the weapon you're going to equip is the one you'll be using the animations of. So just hold out whatever weapon you're doing it with, then you're going to click equip and press the number on your keyboard to use the wisp. So here I'm going to click and press 2 at the exact same time. The timing is kind of precise, but now that I've got the scythe in my inventory and I'm still holding it visually, it means the bug has worked. Although if I M1 now, I'll still have the scythe anims. So what I need to do is press Y to change stance, and then it will swap to the dagger anims, or whatever weapon you've done it with. If you unequip your weapon, you'll lose the bug's animations, so as long as you don't, you can keep it for as long as you'd like. By the way, there's a Diluvian cheese so that you can do wave 50 solo and stuff, but I need your help. Join my Discord for more information, and if you help me, I help you. Anyway, 2 things I need to mention are, trying this bug can make you unable to change weapons, and it does happen pretty often. To fix it, just log and rejoin and you can try again. The second is how to do it with disguise, since it works differently from wisps and clicking won't get rid of the ritual cast GUI. So any build with a wisp or at least 20 charisma can do it. First, you need to go into your settings and enable hold to M1, and then rebind any hotbar slot to Z. Then make sure your weapon is in the slot you rebinded, and now just do the bug. And the reason why disguise is different is because M1ing doesn't remove the ritual cast GUI. So to get around this, hold down M1 and then press Z a couple times until the GUI goes away. Don't spam Z, otherwise it will unequip the weapon. That's the very basics of this bug, and I'd really like to go into a lot more detail, but this video is already long enough and weeks overdue. So just try and imagine its potential yourself, like rifle anims with a guard break crit from mace and stuff like that. Anyway, thank you for watching, please subscribe if you'd like more of these videos.